We are coming to you guys live from the Sinai Peninsula. We are at an area called St. Catherine's. Not quite a city, but man, with all the construction and things that's going on here, it's probably going to be sometime very soon. So we're here with the team. Jeremy is not actually. Jeremy is out with a drone pilot and with Ryan and with Jet getting some exterior shots through the desert, kind of leading up to and starting the climb to Jabal Musa, Moses Mountain, which we climbed up and spent the night on top of last night. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. But first, I'm going to take you to one of the various war rooms we've got here. There's a lot of work happening. So say hello, everyone. Justin and
hello. Dude, what are you doing in our room?
Oh, well, you had a deck.
Did you just come in through the patio?
Yeah, I just hopped the fence.
What?
So it seemed to open. Well, let's give a look here and see the kind of work that's happening. Whoa, let's zoom out. Look at that. Bam! What is happening in here, gentlemen?
A whole lot of lounging on the bed and on the computers. Nolan's probably editing something.
I am editing something.
Nolan's got behind the scenes. I'm working on a blog post about Jabal Musa. And which one are you working on?
Right now I'm going through my bajillion emails that I have not responded to in the past 24 hours.
The internet out here is...
It's
Well, but that's typical
sketchy.
even when we're in country with high-speed internet.
That's right. That's right. And then when you're working on top of it, you're actually shooting stuff that you don't have time to check your email. So
Yeah.
if you're watching this and you haven't gotten a response, that's why.
That's why. Well, Joe, you're going to have to put the work down for a bit.
Okay, I can do that.
Nolan, keep editing. If you guys have been enjoying those behind the scenes, those trip journals that we've been putting out, the vast majority of them have been put together, shot and edited by Nolan Hoovner, and we are thrilled to have him with us. He's doing such a fantastic job. Stu has to get the scarf. I bought you a new scarf.
I know.
Though. What happened?
I've got it. I
He's
was
got
using it.
it.
I was using it as a sweat rack.
You're gonna
Look.
use this until it's just the threads are not holding.
He's
Yeah, I'm
touching
gonna
the
need,
scarf.
do you have a wet wipe or
wash your hands
something that
now.
I can? That
Here.
is unfortunate. All right. Well,
Yours will, in time, it will become.
St. Catherine is
Yeah.
where I got the disease that killed me.
that killed
All
you.
right. Shall we take a walk, Stu? Let's
go for a
Let's
walk.
go see what's out here.
Let's see what's happening. Oh, my
I want to
sunglasses.
kind of show you guys the views that we've been able to enjoy in this one of many, Stuart, one of many locations that we have stayed at.
Yeah.
Well-
This is one of the. I mean, we stay here longer than almost any location.
This is tying for our time in Cairo.
Yeah,
When we
that's right.
first arrived, we were 3 nights in a hotel in Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, and then it was like
And then we were a night.
one.
Oh, I can't remember anymore.
I
that
can't
was
remember.
we slept since. Oh, we did. So we were in Cairo, and then we were on a train for a night.
One train
that
overnight.
counts as a hotel.
And that video, I believe, just dropped today.
Did it? Awesome.
I believe just dropped today. So
That
the
was
midnight
midnight
no,
train
it's not
to
the midnight
Luxor.
train. It's the
It was midnight.
nightmare train.
The nightmare
to
train. Is that what
Luxor.
you named it?
That's what. Yeah, Nolan had the idea, and it fit perfectly. You guys should watch that.
Yeah.
10, 12-hour train ride.
It was a 10-hour ride, overnight.
It was something. So yeah, a night on a train.
And then we were one night in Luxor at a hotel there, which I
Yeah.
think has been our nicest hotel.
It was so nice, and we weren't
we were
even there
there-
for 12 hours.
You know, we
I
weren't
think.
because we got in late that night and we left. We had a 5 a.m. flight the next day, so we left at
Yeah.
like 3:30 in the morning.
We caught a flight back from Luxor
To
back to
Cairo.
Cairo so that we could catch a flight from Cairo to
Sharm el Sheikh,
Sharm el Sheikh,
and now we're
and then
drove
3 or 4
to-
hours in the car to arrive here, where we stayed the night down here. But last night,
Last night we
Let's take a walk.
we hiked. Yeah, let's go.
Last
We
night.
hiked to the top of Mount Sinai, Jabal
That's
Musa.
right.
You know, this is one of the traditional sites of Mount Sinai. It's not the only site that's thought
Yeah,
to be.
and that's
so.
that's where we're getting most of our comments and questions. Is
Seems
hey,
like
did
it.
you hear about the site in this one? And did you hear about the one? And yes, more than likely, our team, the story team and the research team, we've heard of the options.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
this is the option that we chose to shoot
It's-
video on
yeah.
and talk about the story. And that's really the
Yeah.
extent of what we're going to do with this documentary.
Yeah, yeah.
Is we're not going to get into the back and forth of it could be this one. What's
Right.
the reasons that it could be this one? Because the truth is,
We just don't know.
we don't know.
Nobody knows.
We don't know. And contrary to what they may say on YouTube, they don't know either.
That's right. We've talked to archaeologists who tell us we don't know.
They don't know. And I'll trust their word
Yeah,
over
yeah.
some guy on YouTube.
Yeah,
So needless to say, we took a hike.
it was quite the hike.
Yesterday.
It was hot.
Um,
But you know, I tell you what, like whether or not it is the site, man, the surroundings are just gorgeous here.
oh, you can't.
This city, we're not really sure if it's a city actually. It looks like it's being built around us. Like we're in this hotel, which is, you know, it's seen some years.
It has beds,
It has beds. It has showers.
toilets.
Sometimes the toilets work. But
Very friendly people.
yeah, and so,
So-
but it's not about the hotel here.
That's right.
Let's flip the camera around.
Flip it around. Here.
Because
this is what we're looking at.
This is what we're looking at right now.
Let's get a little closer.
And this is all around us. Now, this is not Jabal Musa. Jabal
That's not what we
Musa
hiked
is
up.
down the
No,
street.
that's
but
right.
Jabal Musa looks very similar to this, and it's these massive granite monoliths that just scale. They just go up into the sky. And so, like, what this reminds me of in my travels around the United States is like out west in California, Yosemite National Park especially has this kind of looking.
Very Arizona-ish
It's
as
Arizona.
well.
I thought very
Yeah.
Grand Canyon-esque.
So we get to the
so-
top of this. It was about an hour and a half to 2 until you got to the steps.
That's right.
And the steps, man, if you've watched any of our behind the scenes from our
Yeah.
first trip to
That's right.
Israel,
Back
we
in-
refer to
yeah.
this mountain of a million steps. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
I do
Mountain
remember
of
that.
a million steps.
I do remember that.
Man, that place had nothing on.
This was
what
the
we just
mountain of
climbed.
700 steps. Literally.
Literally, they said,
700
okay, yeah.
steps.
So when you get to the steps, there
Yeah.
will be 700 of them. So
And
it
there
was
were.
another
Every bit of
hour.
700.
And it should be pointed out, and we talk about it. You'll see these guys this in the behind the scenes. But there were some delays going up
Oh yeah.
before we could even get permission to go up. We had permission and it didn't
needed more
work, and we needed
permission.
more permits and whatever. And so we wanted to get to the top before the sunset. And so not only were we hiking a significant distance, but we were trying to do it fast enough so that we caught golden hour
Yeah.
and the sunset.
Yeah.
And so our team, man, we pushed them hard.
We
Everybody
did.
really.
And don't give it away.
We pushed it hard. The sun did set. Does
yeah,
that give it away?
That doesn't give it away.
Okay,
yeah,
the sun
but
did set.
You
Surprise.
have to watch the videos and the documentary in order to know
Yeah.
if we made it.
Yeah.
So.
It was, yeah.
But it was good.
an incredible experience.
Yep.
So we're back down here.
For one more night.
One more night,
And
getting
then we'll-
some footage sorted out and
Yeah.
backed up, and some of us got showers.
Yeah. I think a lot of
And,
people got showers, and I think some people have taken naps, and I know a lot of work has been getting done, which is
Yeah.
great because we've discovered in Egypt is it's hot. I think we knew that coming here, but
Yes.
it's almost too hot to film in the middle of the afternoon. So our filming has really happened in the morning hours and then in the evening hours. And in the afternoon, we tend to lay low in the hotel or wherever and get other work done.
Or
and-
we hike in
Yeah,
the afternoons.
Yeah, that's true. We did hike
We
in the
did.
afternoon.
We totally did. in
We
the
did. We've done a lot of walking
square of
in
the
the
morning.
afternoon. So it's
or
not
in the
like
afternoon.
yeah, it's not like we're just laying low in the afternoon. But
Yeah, but all those social media posts, and you guys are writing blog posts and
Yeah.
messages to our donors, and all of that is happening either while we're traveling to the next location,
Right.
doing what we can to keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
And it's good for our families too.
think
Sometimes,
so.
sometimes they're able to watch the recap videos
think
and
so.
get a fuller picture.
I think people
So-
on our social media channels are starting to get used to the rhythm of, like, we just dump content like once a day.
Yeah.
And then there it is. And then, usually we have poor internet connection or something's not working properly. And so then it's another 24 hours before they hear from us. And so,
Yeah, needless to say, we had no internet connection last night,
yeah, which was okay.
which was fine.
I'm
actually.
not sad about
It was
that.
good, yeah. To
So.
just unplug, at least the internet
Yeah.
and enjoy what we got to see.
And it
So-
was fantastic, and I think we both can't wait to share it with
Oh yeah.
with people when the documentary comes out, because
Yeah.
it was an experience that I think is just gonna amaze people, and yeah.
Yeah, and just being able to talk with some of these guys like Ryan and Nolan, who haven't traveled with us before, and getting their takes on like what do they think about these types of experiences, and then all of us, we were able to do something that none of us had done before.
Yeah.
Dan has traveled all over the world, and this was something he had not done before, and so to get everyone's thoughts on that
It was
is really
good, yeah.
quite special. So.
Yeah, we've been creating a lot of extra content as well that will
Oh, yes.
hopefully be coming out.
Podcasts, and
Yeah,
all sorts of things.
Yeah, we had a
You guys
pretty,
are in for
Yeah.
some Appian media overload. I hope you guys don't mind.
That's right. So, yeah, I don't know where everybody is. I think, well, you saw Justin and Nolan in our room.
Around.
I think Ryan, Jet, and Jeremy are out at the mountain right now.
Yes.
Because we had a drone operator come in, and they are flying the drone out there and getting some shots of the mountain. So that's pretty cool.
These are some of kind of the hero Jeep or the hero 4x4 shots.
Yeah.
And Jeremy arriving at the mountain, and is there talk of a camel?
I don't know.
Is there talk of a camel?
I don't know.
So,
There's been talks of camels.
yeah, we've had plenty of
We've
experiences.
seen lots of camels.
I got to sit on a camel.
You did sit on a camel.
So I'm gonna flip this back around.
You might
Yeah.
even have the chance to buy a camel if you'd like to.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. We are backlit, brother.
Yeah, we are.
That's okay.
I'll tell you what.
This is just how it's
this
how it's
hotel
rolling.
is something else. I've never quite seen anything like it. It's all these different buildings, and they are just kind of all separated. And we've got a lovely pool down here, which I don't think has
we
been
put
cleaned.
in quotes.
And,
Yeah, we put in quotes.
cleaned in a few years.
There might
Can
be.
you now? No, you still can't see the mountain that way. So it
Still
was
that
like
one?
down the
Yeah.
road a little bit, but.
Yeah, this was about the closest accommodations we could. Yeah, we drove 5 minutes down
I
the
think
road.
it was the only accommodations. I didn't see a whole lot else coming in.
And then we also got to visit on our way back St. Catherine's Monastery,
Oh yeah.
which was really kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's always kind of interesting to see different ways that people
Yeah.
practice their religion and the
So it was a-
intensity that they take it.
It's yeah.
Um,
That was very familiar of some of the things we've seen in Israel before,
right.
because that was a Christian church, a Greek Orthodox church, I believe.
Yeah.
And I asked the guide, and he said it was built around 1000 A.D.
And they had some doors.
They had some doors on there
That
that
were
dated
like
back to 500.
5th century, 6th century or
Yeah,
something. So
6th century A.D. So I guess maybe the doors were someplace before the monastery was built.
Yeah.
But old stuff. I mean, that's again.
and
like
the gift shop was at
the
least
gift shop.
20 years old.
Some of those postcards in there had to have
So,
been printed in
well,
like
that's entirely
1080.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but like everything here is just on an older time scale. Like that's when you say 1000 AD, you're like, oh, that's new. That's relatively, you
That's
know.
right.
But you're talking about, and somebody mentioned it. I think maybe Dan. But like the doors on that church were carved and installed before the New World was even discovered. Wrap
Right.
your mind around that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Before we ever discovered North America, we walked through some doors that were carved for this monastery.
Yeah, and not with machines. It
No.
was hand carved,
And
and,
they're
you could
gorgeous.
see it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were just incredible.
So
So, a lot to share with you guys. We're going to try to do this, perhaps.
yeah,
Perhaps.
if we have signal.
Starting tomorrow, we are crossing out of Egypt.
Mhm.
See what I did there?
I see
Into
that, yeah.
Jordan, and we'll be spending some time at Wadi Rum, making an extra stop.
We are
Making an
Mhm.
extra stop on
Which
the
should
way
be a
up
surprise.
to Mount Nebo and some other sites.
Yeah.
Tracing one of the routes that the Israelites could have taken,
Yeah.
leaving slavery into
Yeah.
the Promised Land. So
We've gotten them out of Egypt now, and we've left them kind of wandering in the wilderness.
Right.
And this definitely is the wilderness. I tell you what, there's no mistaking it. Like when you're
Yeah.
walking up that mountain, and you're looking at how brown everything is, you're like, wow. not to say that their lack of faith was a good thing, but you can kind of put yourself in their shoes and say, yeah, I could kind of see why they were a little bit
cranky about not having water.
About not having water and
Yeah.
leaving what they had behind in Egypt, which was the safety and security of 3 square meals a day,
Right.
green, lush land around the Nile. And now they're out in the wilderness.
And that's already something that has struck me is I always thought, Egypt is sand dunes and pyramids. And then they went out into the wilderness, which was sand dunes. And so, what were they fussing about? And that's not what we
That's not
saw.
here, yeah.
In Cairo and Luxor, they're along the Nile, and it's lush and green, and there are vegetables and,
Yeah.
Lots of things growing.
Yeah.
But it does not take more than a few miles outside of that where the water is gone.
Turns brown.
And it does. It very quickly turns into a hostile environment,
Right.
and especially would have been for the people.
Well,
So,
and what I was told was that today there's only a few tributaries off of the Nile River. During the time of Moses, there would have been over 200 tributaries. So this, you can imagine, that was even more green and lush around the Nile River, and especially in the Nile Delta, than it is today. So, yeah, but to come out here, it's hot, it's dry. My mouth is dry.
yeah,
Last night, as we were sleeping on top of the mountain, I think all of us were kind of like this dry, like
Yeah.
coughing up dust.
yeah.
But yeah. So now we're gonna go over into Jordan and continue to follow them into the wilderness. And I think it's gonna be neat to get to the top of Mount Nebo and look into the Promised Land.
Right.
Look into Israel. It's a land that you and I are familiar with, so it's even going to provide a little bit of that comfort, that recall that we're familiar
You
with.
want to be there.
Yeah.
You want to go there. You
Yeah.
know.
You know what's there.
You know the benefits of being over there.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing against Jordan. I hear
No.
Jordan is going to be amazing.
Yeah. So,
But you can understand this longing of this is the land that was promised, and now they're right on the verge. They're looking over at it and standing at the foot of the Jordan. So we'll get into that. We'll do
we'll do
so.
one of these.
Guys, thank you all for your continued support, your prayers for our team. God has opened some incredible doors. There have been challenges, certainly, but we've been able to, thus far, capture what we wanted to capture,
I think so.
and even more so. And we're able to do what we can because of you all. So keep liking and sharing and subscribing and all of those things. And praying for us as we continue the rest of this journey.